Okay, so I'm here at TechWeek with Redouan Boumghar, who's a contributor at the Libre Space Foundation. So Red, if you wouldn't mind just telling me a little bit about your role and what got you interested in the field of AI.
So my role at Libre Space Foundation is the development of a machine learning project for spacecraft operation autonomy. And also I'm trying to bring my own expertise and knowledge to the whole foundation for developing space in the Libre way, meaning developing open source assets in terms of hardware and software for people being able to explore space their own way. And why AI? So that's a field I got interested in like very early in my studies. So I did digital imagery analysis with AI, and then I did a PhD in robotics. Then I was, fed up with studies, so I started working in the satellite industry. And I think I would rather like use the computer to manage the data than just do it by hand. So I think AI comes in handy.
Yes, very true. And you're talking today on a number of things. You talk about ethical AI, but you also talk about explainable AI. So if you wouldn't mind just explaining to us briefly, what is the problem of explainable AI and why is it so important?
So the problem of explainable AI is something that you actually face when you develop solutions using AI. So using machine learning, actually using any kind of algorithm. So when you're the one coding the algorithm, nobody knows what it's doing. So when you reach the point where you reach production, deployment, people are afraid, are like really asking the real questions, but can we trust those things? And so I came to this problem of explainable AI, which helped me understanding what I need to explain to people. So because from my own point of view, I needed to change perspective, and that's the thing.
And some things that I'm myself guilty of getting a little bit confused about, and I know others have too, is the difference between explainability and interpretability in terms of ethical AI or robust AI.
So what is the difference between interpretability and explainability? You may think like, well, this is the same. I think interpretability is part of explainability. So if you take the root word like interpret, it's actually changing from a language to another. So which you actually get a lot. Like when you get an analogy of an algorithm doing something, you get an analogy. That's another language you're using to understand what's happening. But explainability is actually really understanding what the algorithm is doing, not just how the input and output changes, but what are the mechanics and the mechanism inside.
Excellent. And which hypothetical scenario, you don't have to go completely doomsday here,
okay.
A lot of people do that when in discussions of AI, but which hypothetical scenario best captures the problem of unexplainable AI?
Yeah, that's a tough question. So which scenario would capture that? I think they're like classical scenarios. But the one I like is one of this TV show called Person of Interest, where there's this big machine doing things, actually discovering pre-crime intents from people, and how it's doing that and what kind of decision it has to take can be a bit scary. Also needing to understand what it's doing is very important to the decision you have to take. I also worked in robotics where you have to make several robots cooperate to survey a zone, and when it reaches the point where they have to clean the zone, so whatever cleaning means, you want to know how they're going to take their decisions. So that's, I think, typical scenarios.
Excellent. And lastly, from your perspective in this area, what are the big questions that are yet to be answered or that need to be resolved?
Yeah, big questions. So I think when you're like working on explainable AI, you realize that you have to make the human understand the machine. And so I think there are like new projects going up about this interface between human and machines, and it's like this Neuralink trying to improve or to increase the bandwidth between the human and the machine, which is a bit crazy, but it's like trying to understand. So the machine has to understand the language of the human and vice versa, so that there could be a common understanding and explainability can happen. That's the thing. I think that's a research topic.
Agreed.